Well, I hope everybody is having a great day. We're wanting to come back to you again this week. Hopefully, you're enjoying getting to see some of our past episodes. I'm JD with the Christian Job Corps, the executive director here in Fredericksburg. Good afternoon, Hisela.
Hey, I'm Gisela, the program coordinator for the Christian Jack Corp, and I'm glad that we're back and doing another live.
Yeah, so it's getting both of us a little bit out of our comfort zone, right? But hopefully, we're able to provide some useful information, not only for individuals who just want to know more about what we're doing, but also individuals who would like to get the help that we provide, so that we can help you achieve what you're wanting to do in your life, in work, and all that fun stuff. Hence today's topic: do you have a dream, right? Stealing it from Martin Luther King. I have a dream. Do you have a dream? We really want to start there. Um, Hisela, what is a dream?
That's a good question because we all get confused on what is a dream, right? I would say dream is something that you doing it with. It's like an imagination, something that you want to approach, but you're not taking action about it.
Yeah, it's something that is important to you, something that you've given a lot of thought to, right? But it's still in your thoughts. We always play with the words wish and goals. Wish sounds a little more like a fairy tale, right? A goal sounds a little more boring, sounds a little more of a obligation. But I did find interesting, Hisela, those comparisons that you found. Do you want to share those real quick?
Oh yeah, it was a dream without a goal is a wish,
Okay.
and a goal without a plan is just a dream.
Yeah. So let's take that first one. A dream without a goal is a wish,
Yes.
right? Waiting for Tinker Bell to throw the Tinker dust to make everything possible, right?
Yes.
And then the second one,
It's a goal without a plan. It's just a dream.
a goal without a plan, right? So we can
Yes.
daydream all we want, but until we start making plans, it just stays a daydream, and we can think about it, and it doesn't hurt anybody, right? It doesn't become any more than just a possibility. But today we really do want to talk about how to make those things that we dream about, that we wish about, um, how can we make them more possible, right? Um, because we're given dreams and we're given wishes, we're given opportunity for a lot of things. Um, and that's what I love about what we get to do here at the Job Corps is we get to connect it to our God-given purpose. And if the word God is not really in your vocabulary and your preference, just what were you created to do? Why are you on this earth? Um, because if you know your purpose, um, a lot of things come along with that, like self confidence, determination. Um, Purpose gives you a lot of motivation to do things that might seem difficult. What do you think about purpose, Hisela?
I would say that's one of the huge things here that we do on the job resource centers, right? It's the people think because they have they find a purpose, but they're not sure about that purpose. But they say they already find that purpose.
Right.
I would say it's more into you. It's a life thing. You you will never complete that purpose because it's a whole journey that you're doing.
Right. Yeah, it is a journey, and we throw the word job around a lot, and of course, jobs are important because that's what pays the bills. But we're really not only talking about what you do between 8 to 5. We're really talking about what is your life goal, what is your life's purpose altogether, and then how does that 8 to 5 job or 9 to 12 job or whatever shift you work, how does that fit into your purpose, and how are you using that to achieve what you're supposed to achieve, what God has created you to do, what you're most passionate about, what you're most interested in about. What do you care most about? And so, yeah, we always end up boiling it down to a job, but we have to sometimes stop and think about it as a whole life purpose. Um, and what job fits into that with your schedule and all the other circumstances in life. It sounds easy, doesn't it, Husela?
It sounds, but it has their steps to it, right?
Ah, great transition, Husela. It's almost like we practiced this a little bit.
uh,
Um, yeah, it sounds easy, but there's a lot of reasons why people don't take that first step, right? I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, if you've seen it other ways, but most individuals don't ever take that first step because they think they have to have it all figured out from the very beginning, or they have to figure out how to do it all at once. And what I've learned in my life personally, and what I've learned in talking with several individuals, is you really can't, or you'll never start. If you try to do all the laps of a race at once, you're never going to actually start the race because you it's just not possible. You have to take that first step, um, and then break everything else going forward into steps.
I think that's the first thing. When you take the first step, that's when you realize that it's a process. It's not just I'm just gonna jump ahead and let's do it. No, you had to realize and have all the information that you need to be able to start the process. Because by taking the first step, then you can make that plan. Then you can start building into it.
Right. Sometimes if you know too much before you start, that'll change your mind.
Yes.
But it is really what you're supposed to do, right? Like, so we've talked about it. I'm looking into grad school, and I know a lot about the higher education process because I've worked in it. So I know enough that I know I need to get started before I make a final decision, so that I have all the information available to me. But the first thing is to take a step forward, not to wait until I have all that information, but
Yes.
make decisions based off of that information as I gather it. So yeah, it's a continual process, and this is just life. This isn't anything unique to anyone. Doesn't Isn't particular to any level of success. This is just how you should live life and how you can maximize what you can achieve, and do what you're created to do. That's the biggest part. So let's talk about this, right? Let's talk. Well, let me leave that taking steps first. Let's talk about how we make dreams into goals or into a plan, right? The first thing I believe is you need to find the information that you don't have. Most of the time, when we are talking with people, Hisela, they don't know important pieces of information that might help them make that decision, and that's where we get to have a lot of fun, and make a contribution to the process. Is finding that information, pointing them in the right direction so that they're fully informed. Um, and that goes hand in hand with asking for help. So whether you come here, or you have a family member or a friend, there's somebody out there that's going to be willing to help you make the decisions that you need to do, find the information that you need to make the best decisions possible.
Also, on those things that you say, when we help them, right? We help them to gather the best way and the best information they need to have them options, not just to have just a path, right? Because
Right.
most of us we're used to have like a perfect path, where it's not a perfect path. There's a lot of different options for different people. We
Right.
all have different situations that we can work through it.
Right. Yeah, definitely no path is perfect, right? And so that's where also, I avoid bringing up the R word, but that's where you can and should look at roadblocks that would get in your way, but you can be prepared to overcome them. But then also be prepared to face roadblocks that might change your path slightly. Even the Lord has ways of redirecting us or changing something about what we think we're going to be doing. Um, but roadblocks are an important part of that. It's not the most fun part to talk about, but that gets into a lot of discussion, a lot of consideration. But that just allows you to have the information you need, again, to make the right decisions. And then one thing we also do is try to connect you with a mentor, try to connect you with someone that has gone through the process before or has some familiarity with what to anticipate. So whether it's a mentor that you work with over a long period of time or just mentors that you can reach out to when you have a question, we try to connect to all the resources available, and we can help do some of that research so it's not as overwhelming. That's the advantage of coming to the Job Corps and the Job Resource Center. Next, the second one, plan. Oh no, there's a four-letter word. Planning. I think this is, again, going back to our original discussion. I think this is the hardest part of it all, right? If you start to plan, there's expectations to go along with that. Um, but this is where you can also start taking things in steps. So it's not only taking the first step, but then also planning out the next steps, the steps coming forward that will get you closer and closer to your goal. So you organize them, you put them in the order that they should be achieved. You This allows you to know what to expect next, but even just as important, it allows you only to worry about what needs to happen now and then what's next.
Yeah, because you're breaking it into steps, right? You break it into pieces. You're not gonna make it's like when you make a puzzle, right? You're
Right.
not just gonna put all the pieces together at once. You have to start with the first one and technically do the outside first and then you the inside. So it's technically with the same with doing the planning. You're doing the first step first
Yeah.
and then trying to figure out all that first and then go to the second. Because you're not trying to skip into step four when you haven't even done step first.
Right. So were you leaving the elephant analogy for me to use? How to
Yes.
eat an elephant one bite at, I know I like the cheesy one. How to eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? You have to have a plan of how are you going to take those bites, right? But if you create that plan, you make achievable steps. Something that can be achieved for when you need to take that next step, right? So you plan for circumstances. If you know a major milestone is coming up or you need to take a big step, you can plan it ahead, and so there's never too small of a step, right? As long as you're taking the next step to get you closer, um, that will help you get along the way. And then you just have to worry about the next one. You get this one done and worry about the next one. You don't have to worry about the next five. You can just take it one at a time, and that's definitely more provides relief as opposed to frustration. Um, it helps out a lot. All right, and then the last major piece, obviously, when we're doing this one on one in person, this breaks down into other pieces and other things to consider. But then you have to commit, right? Once you know you have a good plan going forward, you've walked it through in your mind. Then you have to commit to yourself. Commit to knowing that you are going to see it through, and then connect with others that are going to hold you accountable, whether it's a spouse or a family member or a friend. Ask others to hold you accountable to that goal, no matter how big or small it is, and ask them to hold you accountable to each step, and not just to the entire process.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's one of the things that we need to think through because it's like when you uh, make yourself accountable and count on yourself, you also have the opportunity to rely on others and see others' point of views, and also can give you a different way how to pursue uh, the path that you want to take, right?
Right.
And it can also make it easier for you because two heads think more than one head, right?
Right.
So it give you more options and more variety to decide like how to overcome or how to see that plan.
Right. Well, and the plan is going to change after you set out that first initial plan. There's potential for that plan to change some way. Something in life is going to happen, big or small, and you need to make adjustments. So others can help you, whether it's a mentor, a family, or a friend. Others can help you make those changes, but they can also lift some of the burden off of you so that you can achieve those goals. Whether it's a sick child that you need help with, or a scheduling conflict that you need to work around, or anything. Um, the more people that you have that are supporting you, holding you accountable, and you holding yourself accountable, the more you do that, even if you have to slow down a little bit and change the time schedule, you will have more success in achieving what that dream originally was. Or you might even find that your dream has changed a little bit and you'll find your purpose even more so, going through that process.
Yeah, because you never know until you try and you do the first step, then you realize that that might be for me, that might not be for me. There's things that you thought you were gonna like it, or you are passionate to do it, and you keep forward, or you change your mind. Mm. It's a
Right.
lot of things to go.
I don't know that any of us have done exactly what we started out to do. But when you have a plan, you're likely to get there or get to where you really need to be. Right, that may be just to get you started, and you may find that you're happy somewhere in the middle. But at least you're further than where you started out to be. Right, me being president of the United States didn't get me there, but it allowed me to make decisions and to go further and do things that I wouldn't have normally done. Don't go tell the world that I wanted to be president. All right, so this is intentionally supposed to be brief. We just wanted to kind of give you a tidbit. This is how we start the process. I always start the question with, "What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to achieve in the next 10 to 15 years of your life? What is that?" And this is the process that we start with. What's your purpose? Where do you want to go? And what are the steps that you need to get there? So I hope you've appreciated this. Gisela, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Um, no. You know what? Let's make a little equation about this.
Okay.
So if you have a dream and you have a plan, then you can make a goal. So if you add dream plus plan
Right.
equals a goal. So
Right. Yeah, you've got to have those three, and it helps if you do that in that process. Your plan is going to help you define your goal as opposed to always your goal defining what that plan is. Because yeah,
yeah.
plans tend to change. Plans tend to go. Well, awesome. Well, before we leave you, want to make sure that you have our contact information, know how to reach out to us. If you need our services, want to talk to us more, please let us know. If you would like to support our organization, we are a local 501c3 here in Fredericksburg, independently run and operated. So if you'd like to support us, there's a QR code you can snap with your phone or your device. Go to our website, and we greatly appreciate your support, and we would love to talk with you, to help you out, or if you know of anybody else who could use all of our services. And you can find more details on those services on our website. So please go check that out. And we'll see you next Thursday. Have a great week. Dry off, and see you then. Bye.
Bye.